Feeding session. Amanda, over on the left-hand side there, will knock a PVC pipe against the wall of the exhibit. And this creates a hollow thumping noise that lets the sharks know the training session has begun and that the targets are being lowered into the water. So if you're down in our underwater viewing area, you should be able to see those targets in the water now. Now the blacknose and the sandbar sharks are fed as they swim by their targets. However, the nurse sharks have musculature that allows them to pump oxygenated water over their gills manually. So we ask them to stop at their targets for a few seconds before they get fed. The menu today consists of blue runner, herring, bonita, mackerel, and mullet. All of the fish that we feed our sharks is 5-star restaurant quality. It's fresh frozen when it's caught out at sea and thawed and carefully prepared before each feeding session. And because this freezing and thawing process could alter the nutritional value of the fish, we supplement each of our sharks with a multivitamin and a vitamin C. And those vitamins are usually stuffed into the first piece of food that you see our aquarium biologists offering our sharks. And we would never feed any live fish to our sharks because this can be a potential risk of introducing some sort of a disease or a parasite into the exhibit. And we want to make sure that all of our animals, both the sharks and the fish, remain as healthy as possible. And the reason that we choose to target feed each one of these sharks with these metal tongs rather than to just throw food out into the water is because with this method we're able to make sure that each of our sharks is getting enough food to stay happy and healthy in the long run. And as Mike just demonstrated there in the middle, he threw a piece of food out into the water and 2 of those crevalle jacks were right on top of it before the sharks even realized that it's hit the water. So with this method we're able to make sure everybody's getting enough food. And as our aquarium biologists are feeding the sharks, they're keeping a mental note of how many pieces of food each shark is eating. And we'll keep a record of that throughout the year, and we can track any predictable patterns that they show in their appetite.
She ate right from that man's instrument. I don't know what
A training technique that we use is called positive reinforcement. This is a technique that you use with any of your pets at home. It simply means that you reward the behaviors that are done correctly and you ignore the ones that are not. And one of the goals of our shark training session is to be able to lead an individual shark into the shallow pool here that you see in front of me. And if we're able to train each one of our animals to do this, it would help our animal care team and our veterinarian staff to perform health checks on each animal when it's necessary. It's much easier to work with these animals in shallower water than it is in deep water. It makes it less stressful for everyone involved, including the shark.
fish over there, and the shark went to get it.
This exhibit is specially designed to help with the long-term care of these animals. There are 2 round areas at either end of the exhibit that allow for the sharks to swim continuously. The shallow pool in front of me here is used to separate animals when needed or to slowly introduce and acclimate new animals to the exhibit.
I did not see him before. He's very big, huh? And here's another one.
The total volume of this exhibit is about 135,000 gallons, and the pumps can filter over 1,000 gallons per minute.
Is that a yes? Yes. Okay, let's go by Daddy. Ladies, if you want to come here.
Oh, thank you.
I think
Now, sharks aren't the only animals that we have in this exhibit. We also have tarpon, which are those large silver scaled fish, crevalle jacks, some red drum, 2 Goliath groupers, and a variety of smaller fish. And all of the species that you see in this exhibit can be found in our local waters in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, for those of you seafood lovers out there, we would highly recommend you to take one of these home with you. This is a seafood watch guide. And these are really good to have with you when you're buying seafood, whether at a restaurant or at a grocery store. And they give you good choices of seafood to buy based on which species are in danger of overfishing, as well as the amount of contaminants that are found in the fish meat. Now we have some of these seafood watch guides available down in our underwater viewing area, or there's actually a free application that you can download onto your smartphone. And some examples of good choices of seafood to buy are stone crab claws, wild caught Alaskan salmon, and domestic farm tilapia. And in the column of seafood that you should avoid eating are Chilean sea bass, orange roughy, and shark skates and rays.
See all the sharks?
The Mote Marine Lab was one of the first research centers to study sharks, and our founding director, Dr. Eugenie Clark, was the first document that sharks could be trained and could learn behaviors.
Bring the sharks in there. The sharks in there.
In 1991, the lab was designated by Congress as the only national recognized center for shark research in the United States.
Bring one of them in the laboratory.
Our Center for Shark Research is overseen by Dr. Bob Huter. His current research focus is on pelagic shark populations, which are the sharks that live far from shore. And he's studying things such as the migratory patterns of whale sharks, the largest fish in the ocean.
Baby shark. Baby shark. Follow this baby shark.
He's also looking into how our shark populations have been affected by the oil spill that we had a few years ago. And he's working with the governments of Mexico and Cuba to better manage the fisheries and the shark populations in the Gulf of Mexico. Dr. Carl Lure does biomedical research on shark skates and rays. His research is focusing on how and why sharks are resistant to cancer and tumor growth. He's trying to figure out what exactly gives them this natural resistance so that it can hopefully be applied to human chemotherapy treatments in the future. And he's also looking at how the mucus in their skin allows them to heal wounds very quickly.
That's cool.
Sharks are in there.
Dr. Jane Gardner, who came to us from the University of South Florida, is looking at the behavioral ecology and movement patterns of our coastal shark populations. She's studying patterns in habitat use as the sharks move in and out of our coastal estuaries.
What? Well, do you want to go see Mom?
Her research can be seen in our Shark Tracker exhibit, which is where our bonnethead sharks are displayed.
Like the shark from
She's also used high-speed video cameras to investigate how sharks use their senses to feed. Dr. Nick Whitney, who came to us from the University of Hawaii, is also studying behavioral ecology and physiology of sharks. He's using several emerging technologies in his research, one of which is an accelerometer. Now, an accelerometer is a gravity sensing device that can be found in a Nintendo Wii remote or in an iPhone. So you may actually have one of these accelerometers in your pocket if you have a smartphone. Now, paired with a satellite tag, for example, Dr. Whitney can attach this accelerometer onto the fin of a shark, and he can not only know where an animal is at any given time, but also what that animal is doing. For example, based on the data collected by the accelerometer, Dr. Whitney can tell if an animal is swimming, resting, feeding, or even mating. Now it looks like our sharks are slowing down. They may be getting a little bit full. So I want to thank you guys for coming out today to see our shark training session. Make sure before you leave the aquarium today, head across the street and check out our new temporary exhibit. It's called Oh Baby, and it focuses on life cycles of the sea. We also have a bunch of baby animals displayed in that exhibit. So make sure you check it out before it's gone. It's only going to be here through September 27th of this year.